Welcome, everybody, and it's Christmas in Killarney today. And we're going to be a little bit Irish. And I have a terrible Irish accent, so I'll stop that. Whoop, here comes Mr. Simkovich. Have to let him in. Um, Irish American Christmas song from 1950. Two recordings hit the charts in the 50s. Dennis Day, which, by the way, that's a cousin of Mr. Andy Kelly, who usually sits behind me here, and he had to leave today, so he's not here. But that's his cousin. And that one hit number 10, and Percy Faith and his orchestra hit number 28. Now, in 1951, Bing Crosby recorded it, and that was the most remembered version. That's probably the one that everybody knows. Others were Bobby Vinton in 64, Anne Murray did a nice version in 88, and Neil Diamond did one in 2016, believe it or not. So it's been done, and when you read the lyrics, it's this is just one of those fun, feel-good songs, and I have to tell you, if you get on YouTube and you want to giggle, get on YouTube to Christmas in Killarney by the Brothers Charles. And it's a bunch of Irish guys, and they're sitting on a sofa and they're drinking their Irish whiskey and they're singing this song and they're jumping up and down. And it's just, you just watch their expressions on their faces and they switch positions and they end up getting drunk and doing, it's very silly. So if you want a good giggle, you have to go to YouTube and look up the Brothers Charles singing Christmas in Killarney. And I don't think they're singing. I think they're lip syncing. it's just a good laugh. Okay, so I am going to change up the roadmap a little bit. Why? Because I can. There really is no roadmap here. The intro of the song is actually the first 1, 2, 3, 4 measures without the pickup note. So I put a little line right there because the pickup note is actually part of the main part of the song, which starts here. So your intro are the first two lines. All right? And then at the end of the song, the first time I play it through, I'm going to ignore the fermata and play to here. And then that pickup note's going to go right there. All right? And then instead of the E, I'm going to play a C note the first time. The second time you can play the high E if you want. All right, so then you want to put your repeat dots at the end of that line. Nope, the end of line 3. The end of line 3. Where are you going back to? Well, you could go back to the bridge, but this song is just so much fun to play that I took it all the way back to line 3 of the first page. And put your repeat dots facing the other way. Line 3 of the first page. That's what you're going to go back to. Now, if you wanted to play it a third time, you could actually go back to the bridge, which is page 2 where that A minor chord starts. But I didn't do that. I am going to be doing several start stops, and I'm going to play part of the song with no background, and I'll show you how to do that, and then go into the rhythm and then stop it at a certain point. All right, I'm using I have two different versions. One is on the Irish, why doesn't it tell me what that is? It's the Irish Times. There it is, Irish Times at 112 beats a minute. And the second version is on Swing March 6/8. And that's actually my favorite version, but I'm going to use the Irish Times. And I'm using the fiddles, which is preset 0 or vintage 0. And I'm going to use the fiddles for the first verse. And then the second time I'm actually switching to bagpipes. All right, what happens if you're on an easy 4? Your march works perfectly well, which is traditional full band. Go ahead and use that. And there's several different, you can use a flute, you can use the accordion, which is, I'm going to use a French accordion for my second version. Accordion actually sounds really good. If you have bagpipes, go ahead and find your bagpipes. Some people like them, some people do not. But it's really a funny song about Christmas in Killarney is wonderful to see. Listen to my story and I'll take you back with me. The holly green, the ivy green, the prettiest picture you've ever seen. See, I don't have an Irish accent, I'm sorry. It's Christmas in Killarney with all the folks at home. Not to be confused with all of the folks at the home.
You're
all
funny.
of the folks at home. It's nice to know you kiss your beau while cuddling under the mistletoe. And Santa Claus, you know, of course, is one of the boys from home. The door is always open and the neighbors pay a call. And Father John, before he's gone, will bless the house and all. So it's a Irish jig. And I actually had a suggestion from Andy Kelly, by the way. He said, instead of playing it a second time, you could insert the Irish jig. You can insert that Irish jig and put that in the middle of the song and do a dance break. So if you feel like doing that, please feel free. The beginning of the song is actually done in just a free fall with no rhythm.
That was clever.
Yeah. So, that just adds a little bit of drama to stop.
Yeah.
And did you see where I stopped? I actually stopped the second time. The first time I ignored the fermata. The second time I held the fermata and hit stop. Not no chord, because no chord will keep your drums. You don't want your drums. You want total drama. Then you want another preset where you could just use the first preset that you made as well, because all I did was take out the rhythm. I'm on Irish times. You want to turn off the rhythm and then turn on the easy. So when you're setting a preset, you set it up for Irish times, you set it up for whatever sound you want, then you turn off the music style and you turn on the easy button, and that just gives you just the chord. That just gives you the chord so that you can have just that free fall is Christmas in Killarney. And you can imagine all the Irish tenors drinking their drinks and having a good time. And then you jump back into it with all of the folks at home. Christmas in Killarney with all of the folks at home. And all you do is you just press your next preset where you already have everything set up already. So you need 2 presets, possibly 3, if you plan on changing to that bagpipe. You could keep the fiddles and the whistle down here, and that'd be fine. How did I get bagpipes, by the way?
You went to your lower genius and you went to the screen and you did bagpipes.
Nope. Easier than that. Easier than that. Now, it might be in Irish Times. You might actually have, we might actually have some, yeah, there is actually a bagpiper in Irish Times number 6. So you could have just gone to Irish Times number 6. So you could stay on 0 and 6. Fiddles, and number 6 is your bagpipes. So that would work. And then you just need the one extra preset that has no rhythm. No rhythm, okay? Or you could go to your category preset and go to the one that says around the world. Around the world. And that has some of the coolest sounds. The very first one in rhythm preset 0, or category preset 0, I'm sorry, is your bagpipers on top and your single piper on the bottom, which is the same as Irish Times number 6. But you've also got some other really cool sounds, and I am going to be utilizing number 2 in my next set. French accordion. French accordion, number 2 on category preset around the world. Of course, you could always use the didgeridoo or the mandolin, but no, it's nice to have that French accordion in there as well. What if you don't have an organ that has Irish Times? 6/8 March works very well. Very well indeed. So you just go to 6/8 March, which is the swing march. I'm at 112. And then I would go to my category presets around the world. And I started with French accordion. I actually like this one the best. I did not do that intro here, only because I did it in the first one. You know how to do it. You know what it was? I was lazy. I didn't set up the other preset. I could actually do that. Let's just do that. Let's just turn off this, turn on easy. Yeah, okay. And I'm going to save that to C9. Okay, so I'm on C9 and C5. So I'm going to start on C9. That's the introduction right there. Press your next preset and everything stops. Then you can go to your next one. I went to number 0, which was your bagpipers. Stop. Okay, so 2 different ways you can do that.
Sorry.
Dawn,
And go
what
ahead.
did you say? What did you say your tempo was for the Irish Times?
112 for both of them.
Okay, thank you.
112. Yeah. Yep. And like I said, then if you wanted to, instead of doing the drum solo in the middle, you could insert that Irish jig if you wanted to do that and put it on a flute and do your Irish jig. So
That'd be cool.
yeah, it would be cool. Yeah, it was a good suggestion, and I didn't think
and
of it myself.
And the style for that was under swing, March 6/8.
It was under Swing March 6/8. Yes.
Okay.
Under March.
Okay.
Yep. Or
I have a
Irish
question,
Times. Either one of those work. If you don't have either one of those, just a regular march will work.
Irish Times is in gospel traditional, I think. That's what it is on mine.
Yep. Under traditional. No,
Oh.
Irish Times. Yes, it's under traditional. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I got a question, Dawn.
Yeah, go ahead.
Refresh my memory. You use the word vintage 0. What is 0? Is that up in the right corner of all your voices where there's no number on it? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay,
Vin-
you use the word vintage, and I don't. What's
Now,
vintage?
vintage is only for people that have the E organs, Don.
Oh,
The E organs would be like the Marquis, the Grand Marquis, the Aria, the Inspire, and the Rialto. Those have vintage, which are exactly the same as yours and my normal rhythm preset.
oh, okay, I got
Yeah.
you. All right.
So yeah, normal rhythm preset all by itself, without any 1 through 10, is the 0 slot. And yes, when you touch number 4, it is the one that's up in the corner that does not have a number by it.
Gotcha.
That is the 0 slot. And what's cool is that when you go to your categories also have a 0 slot. So you don't have to push 1 through 10. If you push around the world and all you have is the category more touched and around the world touched, you are in the 0 slot. And how do you know that? Again, touch number 4, and it is the one in the upper right-hand corner with no number next to it. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Dawn,
That's just
could I
good
ask you a
stuff.
question?
No. Yes.
Please. When you want to do the beginning intro with no rhythm, all right, you've got it set up for Irish Times, say. That's what I like. So you put it on Irish Times, and now as soon as I hit a chord, I'm going to get a rhythm, but I want no rhythm. So do I have to hit the easy button? Is that it?
No. You hit
How
the
do I
easy
get
button
no
once
rhythm?
once it's on, it's going to turn everything off. Here's what you do. You want to save that preset in Irish Times to a preset, and I chose the 2 slot. So A2, you could put it in A2.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now we're
Okay.
going to work backwards. So now what we're going to do is we're going to reach up and we're going to turn off the blue button over here, your
Okay.
traditional. Okay, turn that off and then turn the easy button back on. Okay? Because now what you've done is you've got the chords, but no rhythm. but you've got the same sound from your first preset that you put in the second slot. Now you want to memorize that to the first slot. Memorize A1 with rhythm, with transpose, turn your memorize button off, and now that's going to be in that first slot. Then,
Okay.
you got it?
Yeah, but if I don't want to memorize, say
Okay.
I don't. So the other way to do it is to,
Okay, just let's try it without memorizing.
yeah,
Let's
I mean,
go to,
what do I do?
all right, let's try it
I mean,
without memorizing.
I
Irish
come in the
times.
door and I want to play it.
Mhm.
I can't take all that time for memorizing, so
Right.
I want to play it.
Okay, memorize or don't memorize anything. Just go to Irish times,
Yeah.
rhythm preset 0 at
Yeah.
112. Okay,
Okay.
now let's turn this off and the easy button on, and remember which button you turned off.
Yeah, that's traditional.
Remember, it's gospel traditional. Now let's
Right.
try it. Hit your no chord so everything stops. Reach up and touch your button, traditional, and then it'll come in with the chord. Okay?
Okay,
Daun,
so really all I have to do if I'm not at home.
Yeah, yes, that's all you would have to do.
Okay, got it.
Now, it's going to be harder to go backwards if you wanted to do that one little measure at the end. You might want to skip that part.
Okay.
You could actually do it. Let's try it. I'm going to try. It's not a big deal. You can do it. You can do it.
Yeah.
So, Dawn, to reiterate that,
Yeah, you can do it.
you do the Irish time. If you're not memorizing, you hit the Irish time and then you hit the easy button. And that's so you don't get that rhythm, correct?
No, nope. If you hit the easy when you got Irish times on, it's going to turn everything off. You don't, and you don't want to do that, but you're still going to have drums. You have to physically reach up and turn your blue style button off.
Right.
You got to turn that one
Oh.
off.
And
Then
then
you have
hit
to
the
turn
easy?
your easy button on.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it's a two-step process. If you just put on Irish times and turn off your easy button, this is what you have. You don't
Yeah.
have any chords. You don't have
Oh.
anything. Okay? That's not going to
Okay.
work. You want to make sure you turn off traditional, turn the easy button on. Those two steps.
Right.
Okay, so, okay.
Turn
So
off.
first hit the Irish time. And then you say, turn it off and put the easy button on?
Correct. That's exactly correct. But remember where your Irish times was. Remember which button it's under.
Okay.
Yeah, remember it's
Once
the
you
blue.
play, once you're done playing, now you're going to do a no chord to stop it. Reach up and touch the traditional button.
Right.
Now you can play.
Right. Yeah. And you don't have to turn easy off again. I mean, you do that once, but you don't have to go back and do it again.
No. Once you turn off traditional, the easy button automatically goes off. That's why you need to turn it back on.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But when you go back and turn traditional on, the easy button will go off.
No, it will not. It stays exactly where it is. Once you touch that traditional button, it stays exactly where it is. Because it automatically will turn on your easy button. So don't touch it again.
Oh, okay.
Don't touch it again. That's a mistake that a lot of people make, is that the traditional or any of these buttons automatically turns on your easy.
Ah, okay, but you will get chords. And once you turn
Once
So
I shut
first-
this off,
Right,
it shuts off everything.
okay,
So now I
Then
have
I-
to go back and touch easy. So it's
Right.
a two-step process to play
right,
the
Okay.
intro.
okay,
Put the easy button on, play your
Right.
intro. The next one is a one button push. Push
Right.
your traditional again, and you're done.
right,
Don't touch easy again.
got it, okay.
Yeah, you push too many buttons, and all of a sudden it's like, yeah, which is
Yeah.
one of the reasons I like saving the presets so that you don't have to
Right,
worry
right.
about it.
But that's hard to do when you're not at home. So because
Agreed.
time.
Agreed.
But
Yep.
so if I can find a way to do it like when I'm in the store,
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
yeah, that's what I'm gonna play Saturday, and we'll see how it goes.
Okay. Very cool.
But I want to be able to do it without doing all that setup in the store. You can't, you
Mhm.
know.
Yep.
So okay, I'll practice that here, and then
Okay.
we'll see if I fall on my face.
No worries. And if you
Yeah,
just play
that's
the
right.
fast stuff, if you
When
just
you're
play the
among
fast
friends,
stuff, you're going to be
don't
fine.
Yeah, it's okay. So when you're among friends, it doesn't matter.
That's exactly correct.
Right.
All right, I did add a few chords, very few. Very few. As a matter of fact, it's only in the intro that I'm adding any chords. So the end of line 1, your last chord is a G7. Cross it out and replace it with a D minor, dinosaur minor, or D minor 7 for 1 count.
Mm.
Beat
Okay.
4 in the same measure. Now put your G7 back in. What that does is it just creates more drama. You're going to do the same thing in line 2. You're going to cross out the G7 at the end of the line, put a D minor or a D minor 7, and then in beat 3 a G7.
So that's before the return bars.
Correct. That is absolutely correct. So it's just it just makes it a little more dramatic. And you can play it as slow as you want.
Yeah, good.
D minor, G7, and then that no chord, then touch your traditional, and play.
Uh-huh. That's cool.
And don't forget your Irish whiskey.
We play better if we had something beforehand.
Probably. Probably it would loosen
A
up the
belt
fingers.
with you can have a
Yep.
belt with your morning coffee, gave me.
Woo! Woo!
Yeah, there we go.
I have schnapps. Will that work?
Yeah, schnapps works. Yep, but then schnapps gets you singing in German.
Oh, Dawn,
Yeah.
could you go through where you went upper? I know you started the intro upper and where you went after that. I got dizzy.
Oh, you can, if you want, go to the lower keyboard where the bridge starts. Now, as you can imagine,
where
the bridge
Which
starts
is the
with
third line. The
the
third line.
minor chord, correct, with that A minor chord. The door is always open.
Well,
So
Oh,
that would be the spot that I would go down.
Second page,
Where
Barbara.
was that at?
oh, I
That's for
see.
2 lines.
Where,
Okay.
where were you
Second
at?
page, line 3.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, right.
Go
That's-
up.
That is the bridge, yeah.
That's the bridge. That's where I would go to the lower keyboard. The door is always open. The neighbors pay a call.
Okay, is that where you went to, what instrument did you go down?
Well, on the Irish Times, it's a penny whistle. And then I went back to the upper keyboard with the fiddles.
Yeah.
Where did
Now,
you go?
if you're on a different sound, if you have the bagpipes on,
Yeah, you can go down the bagpipes there.
if you go, well,
No?
then you have to set it up so you've got fiddles on top and bagpipes on the bottom. Because they're in 2 different presets.
Oh, well, in Irish Times, fiddles are a preset 0.
Correct.
And bagpipes are preset 6.
Correct. So you have to just press the button.
Yeah, so you don't have to go down. You can just hit the button. Okay.
You could. You could go to the bagpipes there if you wanted to. That would work too. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But that's the spot where I would change a sound.
Okay. All right. Got it.
Yeah. So you're starting to think like an arranger. What a wonderful thing.
I don't know.
So
Yep.
after the intro, you stayed up, but on the upper, but you went to the lower on that second line of the second page.
On the third line of the second page,
Third line.
where the A minor chord starts.
I don't have a name. Okay.
Oh, yes.
I'm talking like Sue. I don't have it.
You guys are
Oh.
bad.
Oh, no.
Where'd she go? She's not there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's gonna
Wow.
catch you on Patreon, though.
Yeah, she will. The third line of page 2 gives you that A minor chord where the door is always open.
Yeah, I got that.
That's the bridge. Those 2 lines are the bridge. And that
Yes.
would be the spot where I would change the sound.
Right.
Okay.
Sounds like she's in that Irish whiskey.
Yeah.
She might be.
Change the drink.
No, she might be. This is just a really fun song to play.
It is.
And for those of you who have never seen the Brothers Charles on YouTube, I
Yeah.
highly recommend it just for laughs and giggles. Yeah,
It's on YouTube, you said.
it's on YouTube. Yeah, Yep.
Okay.
Really fun, really
Yeah.
fun stuff. Because you see the serious part when Bing Crosby does it very serious, and Anne Murray does it very serious, and then you see these guys. They're jumping up and down on the sofa.
That's funny.
Oh yeah, lots of fun. Okay, well that's the lesson for today. That is it. I do have fingering if you need it.
Yes.
And next week, I told you it was going to be short today. Next week, it has been suggested that we do They Know It's Christmas? And so I am open to learning a song that I have never done before. So let's do it, and we'll see how it goes. This Friday, we're doing Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree, and that'll be fun one too, and that's going to be easy too.
What book is that? Do you know?
Not
Rockin'
sure, but no
They're
worries. I'll always
2:15.
get it to you.
2:15, both of those are 2:15.
2:15? Okay.
Yes. it is.
Hey, Dawn,
Yeah.
Dawn, it's Michelle.
Hi, Michelle. How are you?
Hi. I was sick last week and I really missed. We have joined Patreon now to watch you do last Christmas.
You're coming in and out. You're not very clear right now. I can't hear everything you're saying, Michelle.
Can't hear me?
I
No.
can now.
Okay, I'm gonna have to join Patreon to watch Last Christmas because I was really sick last week and
Oh, I'm
missed.
so sorry. Oh,
and
man.
I love that song.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
yes.
Yep.
And you did a bang up job on Christmas in Killarney. I love that song.
Well, this is just so
Only-
much fun.
I've only heard the funny version. I've never listened to the serious versions.
Oh,
And so you did a bang up job. I just had to break in and tell you.
thank you.
Just love the way you did it. And I took notes to help my dad. So
Okay.
he does it right. I found out.
Well, I think he learned where slot 0 is today, and as long as he learns one thing every day, that's all we
Told my
shoot for.
I told my dad, I said, it's starting to scare me.
Oh, she's not cutting out.
Yep, you're going, yeah, the microphone's cutting in and out. Yep. Okay, well, I'm going to give fingering. So for those of you who don't need fingering, love you guys. Thank you so much. If you do need fingering, get your pencils out. Let's do some work.
Yeah.
All right, G3, A4, G3, C1, F2, A4, A4, G3, A4, G3, C1, D2, G3, A4, G3, C1, F2, A4, check mark, A3,
Oh,
E4. Did I lose somebody?
no, that was 2 A's there. 1 A
You have
is
2 A's in a row. You,
Yeah.
well, okay. What you're saying is you could make that first A a 3. You could, but you just came off of an A, and it's in the
Right.
same phrase. So what I did is I did A4 check mark A3. Now, if you wanted to do
Oh.
both A's as 3s, then do that, whichever one's the easiest.
Yeah. So it's a real short note there. Okay. Well,
Yeah,
I don't
it
know what.
is. It is. Yep.
Okay.
But you want to at least be on that last A as a 3 so that you can go B4 C5.
Okay.
And this is one of those songs where pretty much whatever finger gets there and it works, that's what you need to do. C5, C5, B4, D1, G2, A4. Third line, G3, C1, 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 G3, C1, 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 A4, G3, F2, A4, G3, F2, G3, C1, 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 A3, B4, C5, B4, A3, G2, C1, D2, E3, D2, C1, B2 with the circle, that's a crossover, and the next C can either be 3 or 1, whichever one gets there first. Then the high A is a 4. Let's go to the second page. G3, C1, 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 G3, C1, 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 A4, G3, F2, A4, G3, F2, G3, C1, 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 A3, B4, C5, B4, A3, G2, E1, C2 with a circle, cross it over, D3, E4, D3, C2, B1, C2. Check mark. E1, E1. A3, A3, B4, C5. A3, B4, C5, B3, I'm sorry, it's an A3. It's C5, B4, A3. B4, E1. Check mark. E2. D1. C3, I'm sorry, it's a G. G3, G3. A4, B5. D1, D1, D1. High C5, C5. B4, A3, G2, check mark, A4. And the last page, G3, C1, 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 G3, C1, 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 A4, G3, F2, A4, G3, F2, G3, C1, 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 A3, B4, C5, B4, A3, G2, low C1, E2, E2, F3, G4, A5, check mark, B3, C4, B3, C4, A2, G1, C3, C3, D4, E5, D4, C3, B2, and that C is a 3, the one that we changed. Now, if you want to make it a high E, do it with a 5.
Dawn, could I stop you right there?
You may.
You crossed off that high E and you made it a what?
A C
A C.
on the
Okay.
third space. Yep.
Right. Okay, so that was the first time, and then the second time you can
Second
play
time, if
E.
you want to do it with a, yeah, if you want to do it with a high E, you could.
Okay.
I still kept it with the C just because it flowed better, but you do it whatever works for you.
Okay, I'll try it either way. Okay.
Yeah.
And then there's an A after that?
There's an A after that the first time. That's your pickup note to go back to the beginning, or go back to line 3 of the first page.
Got it.
Yep, and then the last line, it's just a repeat. C4, B3, C4, A2, G1, C3, C3, D4, E5, D4, C3, B2, C3. Fun song, really fun song. I've never played it before.
No, you did a great job.
I've never played this song before. You guys always play it in class, and I always think it's a fun song, but I've never played it before.
It is a fun song.
It is.
Yeah.
Yep, very cool. All right, you guys. Any questions?
Oh, it's great.
All right. All right. You guys are the best. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. I'll see you all soon.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Dawn.
Done. See you Saturday.
All right.
Okay.